A tragic shooting occurred at the Faculty of Mathematics and Physics of Charles University in Prague, resulting in 10 fatalities and numerous injuries. The assailant, a former student of the faculty, took his own life after the attack. The tragic shooting unfolded at approximately 11:30 a.m. on December 21, 2023, at the Faculty of Mathematics and Physics of Charles University in Prague. The perpetrator, armed with a rifle, entered the building and indiscriminately fired at students and staff before taking his own life before the arrival of law enforcement. Among the victims were 9 students and 1 professor, with several individuals sustaining critical injuries. The injured were transported to various hospitals in the city. While the identities of the victims remain undisclosed, it is known that some were international students from countries like Germany, France, and China. The gunman was identified as Jan Novak, a 32-year-old former student who had been expelled from the university due to academic struggles. Novak had a documented history of mental health issues and had undergone treatment at a psychiatric clinic. The motive behind Jan Novak's attack remains unclear, but witnesses suggest he had a grudge against the faculty and some former classmates. This was confirmed after disturbing messages posted on social media before the shooting revealed his deep-seated hatred and frustration towards them. In response to the tragedy, Charles University declared a day of mourning. All classes and exams were cancelled as a show of solidarity with the grieving community. Rector Thomas Zima expressed the university's devastation and pledged psychological support for affected students and staff during these difficult times. The Czech Prime Minister Andrej Babiš strongly condemned the violence and extended his condolences to the victims and their families. He pledged to visit the crime scene and meet with university officials and security forces to initiate a review of the country's gun laws and security measures. Babiš also expressed his intention to seek cooperation with other European leaders to prevent similar incidents. The shooting has reverberated shock and concern both nationally and internationally, prompting discussions about the security of educational institutions and the mental health of the population. Authorities have committed to a thorough investigation to prevent such tragic incidents in the future. As we reflect on this tragic event, our thoughts and prayers go out to the families and friends of the victims. May they find strength in the face of this senseless act of violence, and may the community find solace and support in these challenging times. This tragic incident marks one of the deadliest in the Czech Republic's history, a country known for its strict gun control and low gun violence rates. The last major shooting took place in 2015 when a gunman killed 8 people at a restaurant in Uherský Brod. Despite having one of the highest rates of registered gun owners, 300,000, and firearms, 800,000 in Europe, the Czech Republic maintains a remarkably low homicide rate of 0.6 per 100,000 people in 2019. The country's gun laws are stringent, requiring applicants to undergo a background check, a medical examination, and a knowledge and skills test. Automatic and semi-automatic weapons are prohibited, and there are limits on the amount of ammunition one can own. The police enforce these laws with the authority to inspect and confiscate firearms at any time. The majority of the public supports these laws, viewing gun ownership as a privilege and responsibility rather than a right.